Sanjay, right in the front right
Hello.
here. How are you? It's obviously incredibly rare for fighters to get title shots in their UFC debuts. It's also even rare to like bring a reigning champion in and just give him this title shot right away. I think it was Gilbert Melendez was the last one. So I'm curious, just when they approached you with a name like Kai Asakura, who we've been watching for many years and never thought he'd be in the UFC, when they approached you with him, were you aware of him and did you like the matchup?
Yeah, I think the coincidence about my division, I already fight with everyone. The number one, number two of my contenders, I already beat twice, Brenos, Moreno, and Rival. Then we take the number 10, Erchagi, come fight with me, I want to. And after my fight with Erchagi, I looked at the rank and tried to figure out who's going to be my next opponent. And then in UFC contracted Kai Sakura. I think that's a very good movement, That's the power about UFC, bring a champion for another promotion. And this guy just leave his belt to try the chance to fight for UFC, for try to fight for the belt, And that's what I think. If you want to be the best fighter of the world, that's what he think. You need to win the UFC belt, I respect all the promotions, but everybody know about how big is UFC. And if you want show all the world you're the best, you need the UFC belt, And when he bring the name Asakura for me, I think that's perfect challenge, Super excited for that fight, very excited fight. And someone I never figured out I have the chance to fight, And that's what I want. I want to fight with the best fighters of the world, and UFC give me that opportunity.
Did you watch him much when he was fighting in Rising? Because he was in here earlier, and he said he watched the flyweight and the bantamweight division because he always knew he might come over here and challenge you guys. So did you watch him at all when he fought in Rising?
Yeah, just when he gave them the name, He fight with one of my teammates, my training partner, Kyoji Riguchi. And for me, Kyoji Riguchi, one of the best fights all the world. Doesn't matter the division, Kyoji Riguchi so good. Kyoji helped me to involve my game so much. And when I see he knock out Kyoji, I get a more attention about him, who this guy, can beat Kyoji because Kyoji is so good. And then I realize I have a very good fighter to fight, And that's it, I start to study him more. I see he fight with the Manel Cape, won one time, lose one time. He fight with Yuka Sasaki. I fight with the same guy before. Good coincidence, and I'm so happy for that fight. I think make that like a crossover, open the door for a lot of good fighters all across the world, a lot of champions across the world. You have so many good promotions, but of course everybody wants tests in UFC. And I think it's gonna be a good test for everybody. Just for me, but for everyone. See a UFC champion versus another guy is a former champion for another promotion.
The countdown they talked about his knees. He has some of the best knees that we've seen. He was in here, and he said that his message to UFC fans was, "You've never seen anyone like me before," and he wanted to quote bring excitement back to the flyweight division. So, I'm curious, when you are studying him and watching his tape, what do you make of his skill set overall?
Yeah, I think everybody can see the same thing I watch, like a very good striking, nasty knees, come forward. He like a old times in Pride. That's fight style he have. But in UFC it's different, We have so many good grapplers here, and I prove maybe I'm the best one in my division, maybe top 10 in the UFC grapplers, And I think I can take advantage about that, Of course, I'm fighting MMA. I can fight and I can use my striking, but also I have my grappling too. I learn much more and I win much more fights when I start to fight MMA. Just go there and try to make a street fighter. I learn how to win the fights. I learn a lot with my coach, and that's what I'm gonna watch. That's what I'm gonna do on Saturday. I go to win the fight. Doesn't matter how.
Have you noticed an increased level of interest in your fight now that you're fighting Kai Asakura, just based on the diehard MMA fans that wanted to see this fight, and then obviously he is a superstar in Japan. Have you noticed kind of a uptick in interest in yourself from the Japanese audience and the diehard MMA fans?
Yeah, Japanese is a huge market, you know. I watch Pride when I'm very young, and I see how much the Japanese respect all the fighters, you know, and that's something, that's some place I want to go. I want to go to Japan. I want to feel that, you know. I'm start training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Jiu-Jitsu comes from Japan, you know. And all the philosophy I learned in Jiu-Jitsu is come about respect, you know. All the time you go to the match, you curve yourself, look in the eyes. And I love the culture about that, you know, and that's one place I want to go. And of course, if I can beat Kaya Sakura and get all his fans, it's going to be very special for me.
And then just last one for me, unrelated to your fight. Can I just get your thoughts on the co-main event between Ian Gary and Shavkat? I think after you guys were originally the co-main, and then when Bilal fell out, they slotted this as the co-main. It seems fans are more interested in that fight than the original main event.
I think that's an amazing fight. Two very good fighters, you know. Shakhtar looked like a perfect, you know. He's have 18 fights, 18 finish. I think nobody have numbers like him, you know. And Ian looks super strong, super good. He have a very good gyms. He trained with Charlie's. He trained in the Kill Cliff. He trained so many places. And I think that's an advantage for him, you know, because I train in a lot of gyms too. I train with so many good training partners. And that fight's going to be very good too.
Alexandre right here. This is your second straight pay-per-view main event after two pay-per-view co-main events. Do you have a preference between headlining shows or maybe co-headlining shows where the spotlight is either on you or on you a bit less? Do you have a preference?
You know, I start to learn more about that, you know. I'm a very good fighter, that's I know, you know. And I'm start to learn more about how to expose myself, how to sell pay-per-view. I know that's good for everyone in that room. And of course, make the main event is different, you know. I make the main event in Brazil, Rio, that's my town. And that's a dream for me, can defend my belt in front of my mother, my first master, my brothers. But here to Vegas and make this main event here, that's so special for me, man. I love to come to Las Vegas to fighting, and the opportunity to make the main event here, and that city is for that. The guys building that city for big shows, big events, and I'm super happy to learn more about that, how to be a superstar.
There's been a lot of talk about pound for pound over the past few months with the John Jones and Dana White situation. You're number 11 on that list right now. Do you feel you should be a bit higher and maybe with a win on Saturday or even right now, you deserve to be in that top 5?
Yeah, of course. Maybe the fans think about the pound for pound just a numbers, just one more ranking. But I think to all the fighters, this is something huge, you know. That's something everyone want to be the best fighter of the world, you know, and I try to do that too, you know. I try to be the best fighter of the world, and I know Saturday I have a big chance to climb this rank.
Did you notice that your opponent was standing here watching you for a little bit? What do you
First
think
time I see him.
What do you think of that he's kind of scoping you out?
You look nice, yeah, Japanese style.
Alexandre, your wife has been by your side for so long. What advice did she give you early on in your career, and how has that advice changed as you've become champion?
My wife?
Yeah.
She gave me some advice about that fight?
Yeah, fighting and in life.
You know, I think all the men, all boys start to be a man when you found a good woman, you know. That's what my wife did for me, you know. After that, before my wife, I'm just a little kid, try to figure out my place in the world, you know. And then my wife showed me how to be a man, you know. I make a lot of mistakes, and she showed me how to be the right, you know. And I like to say, everything I did in my life is try to be a better person, better husband, better father, and I try to impress my wife all the time, and that's why I'm champion of the world, you know.
Awesome. And you spent so much time with Coach Pahumpa. Outside of fighting, how has he helped you as a person?
So many good things, brother. One of the moments I want to say right now, like I'm driving with him, and I ask him, I think you the more correct people I know, like you do everything right. How you can do that? And then he said to me, I'm too old to make mistakes. And that's, this now is for me, that's like a mantra, something like I'm still thinking about, you know. I'm too old to make mistakes, and that's a good advice for me.
Alexandre, I just wanted your thoughts on the UFC releasing Mohamed Mokaev, especially because it seemed like he was the next one to fight you. What were your thoughts on that?
I think Mokaev is very talented. He's very young. He have a dream. He have a wish. Try to be the youngest UFC champ. But like they got decisions, you know. I think he figured out about that, you know. I think he have opportunity to back to the UFC. He's a very good talent, and of course that he's someone can show to UFC. He's very good fighter. And of course, he have a chance to fight for the belt.
Were you planning on fighting him? Because it seemed like after he beat Manel Kape, he was next to fight you.
Yeah, you know, that makes sense, of course. Manel Kape is a huge fighter, one of stars in UFC right now. And maybe that's a fresh blood after I beat a lot of guys. That's someone, of course, we still tune, you know. I trained with him before in America Top Team. He's a very good kid, very humble, and he learned a lot. He's going to be a good fighter. But I'm open, you know. I'm wish fight with the best fighters of the world. That's my dream. I live my dream right now. I have the opportunity to fight Sakura and just think about him.
Thank you.
Alexandre, to your left. Obviously, you just touched up a bit on learning how to, you know, sell your fights, be the main event. But after Saturday night, this is going to be the second pay-per-view headline in 2024 alone as a flyweight. Did you ever imagine you're going to do that in 1 year? And given it was in Brazil, obviously one, and now in Vegas, a place where you referred to as a Coliseum of fight, how special is this for you?
That's a gift, you know. God gave to me, you know, that's opportunity, you know, to come here and make this main event, you know. And I think 2024 is a very good year for flyweight, you know. I think maybe it's the best year for us, you know, for all the division, you know. We did so many good main events, you know. The first one is Brandon Moreno with a rival in Mexico City. And then we have a Moreno with Albazi, a rival with Tatsura. Now we have a main event here, pay-per-view. I think that's a very good year for us, you know. And now, this year, everybody can say like 10 fighters from the flyweight division. Maybe this 5 years ago, nobody know about, you know. But right now, I think that's a very good year for us, for all the division. And right now, with that fight, bring a new blood for us, a champion from Asia. That's going to be huge.
Obviously, if things continue in this momentum where the flyweight has gained this year, do you think your division will finally start getting a bit more respect in terms of maybe headlining more pay-per-views, getting more spotlight in general everywhere?
That's it, you know. I think we prove we deserve fighting UFC, you know. I know just talk about myself, but all the fights the flyweight fights is very entertainment, you know. You can pick the both, you know, rival to Tatsura and Moreno with Albazi, both good fighters, you know. And I think that, you know, we prove we deserve fight here. We have amazing skills, maybe one of the challengers, the more challenged division, because wherever you go, we're good, you know. You have a good cardio, you have good guys can knock out you, and of course grapplers. That's for me, one of the best division in UFC.
Alex, right here.
Alexandre, we've seen a lot of the stars of the UFC get custom shorts. As the UFC's best flyweight, what kind of custom shorts would you like if they gave you the privilege to have them?
He'd give them the same one. I hope it's like a custom short too. Maybe for the next fight, I don't know. But I'm here to prove I'm the best flyweight of the world, and I try to be the best fighter of the world, you know. That's what I come to Saturday. I don't come to take a new short or anything about that, you know. If he bring me one new one, that's nice, but, you know, at the end of the day, I back to my home, stay with my family. That's what doesn't matter for me, you know. Win fight this Saturday, and prove I'm the best on the world.
Leading up to the fight, you were putting on social media, releasing, talking about the mindset of a champion. Haven't had the belt for a while now. What is that mindset? What is the difference being a champion compared to being a contender every week?
I think everybody need to figure out your mindset for that. For me, is stay with my feet on the ground. Have a good woman on my side. My kids is something more special I have. And then I say that a couple of times. More money I make, more time I have with my family. That's what I do here.
Alex, throughout the years, your relationship, and especially recently, your relationship with Jose Aldo has seemingly grown into something very beautiful, honestly. Can you just talk more about your relationship with Aldo and how it's been to kind of be mentored by what many people consider to be the greatest Brazilian fighter of all time?
I agree with you, man. One of the great ones. But in Brazil, it's very hard to beat the great ones. In the place you have Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva, Minotauro, so many good fighters, But yeah, when I started to fighting, when maybe I have 18, I go to New Union in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. I need to travel like 3 hours to go to the gym. And the opportunity to train in the same place with Jose Aldo, Renan Barão, a lot of good fighters, that's helping me a lot, and see how Jose Aldo did everything, I watch his sparring with 10 guys, different guys in the same day, and he won everyone, He's so good, and he's still good, That's amazing. And he proved we can fight. He's still fighting doesn't matter your age, Maybe he have 37, 38 right now, and he's still young, he's still competitive, That's icon for us. And I think Brazil need more respect to Jose Aldo, too. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man.